So this is it is Unorthodox works here, and this is sort of my um, I don't really know what to put it as, but this is sort of a commentary or tutorial on how to create a background similar to this that is on the Unorthodox Twitter. Um, you can see that it obviously takes some sort of skill to get the text in the right place. But yeah, this is a pretty simple one that we've got up at the moment that I've just done. So I'm just really going to open Photoshop at the moment, and this is the file at the moment. Pretty basic, you might have thought. How to guess where the text is? Well, I do use a template. It's like one of these where you just put your template in the middle and then you match your text up and then you delete that when you're done. I'm going to start pretty simply. First of all, I'll probably leave all these just links in the description, or I'll upload it to something like Mediafire for you. And you need a Twitter background template, something like this. So this is it. This is basically what you need. Obviously you can delete the background, you can have a clear background if you really want. These are just the ones that are already there. I'm going to open up some textures. So you can get texture packs and stuff off YouTube. It's pretty easy. Not particularly difficult. You got some good ones here like that, or depends really what you want it to look like. I am gonna go with something like this. Probably it's quite nice, clean. It's alright. It's not too bad. So sort of thing I'm gonna go with. So I'll just leave that there for a moment. I'll delete these backgrounds, or just hide them, which is usually what I do. I'll group these, stick them in a group. XPGs. Right. So now you have the background you were going to use. You want to stick that on the top layer. And basically you just want to drag this, or your selected file or whatever. Make sure it's like plain background, it's not got text on already. And drag that to where you want, really. So there, I've got my background. Whatever you do, don't move this thing here, like this. Don't move that, because if you move it, it will be our line. So this is sort of what you got. I'm going to take some like pre-made text that I had. These backgrounds here, for the UXs. Just saves me having to do them again. So I'm going to copy that over. There we are. Got this here. I want to put this behind, but not underneath the background. Put them there. I could actually delete that now. Delete that. Have these, and move the center point. That's not particularly helpful. And just enlarge these a little bit. And stick these behind here. So you get a fair idea of where it is. And I'm going to get the other one as well. And stick that there as well. Nicely does it. There we are. So there you have your main bit of background. Obviously you can change that text for whatever you want, really. Usually I find it best to use, if someone asks for both a background and a header or a logo, to use the text from the logo on it. So it's like a nice background here. Now becomes like the tricky part of it. It's placing the text, and what I'd advise you to do when you're doing it is press Control and the little plus symbol, and press that twice. You press it as many times as you like, and that helps you to zoom in like that. So it's nicely zoomed in, because if you do it like that and you make your text really big, you're going to have, like, when you actually put it in Twitter, it's going to be off the screen unless you've got like a really big monitor. It's worth mentioning that this text will fit perfectly for monitors from 15 inches up, near enough, yeah. From about, yeah, that should do. So from about there upwards. So this is what I've got at the moment. You can see it's quite small here, but then when I zoom in, it's quite big text. So that's how I do it, really. Yeah. And don't worry about like the hazy stuff. It just looks like that. So I'm just going to borrow the text from here. Again, starts me having to use it. Use that one. Alright. Right. So there's my text. And this will be on the top layer. And you want to get it as close to here as like the border on here as you can. So as close as you can get. Yep. Just going to change the text. Just change it to something that's related to this. So UX works. Oh, if you want to know this text file, this is Babus New, I think that is. BBASNEUE. The standard one comes with your copy of Photoshop. It's a bit bigger than this one. And usually I put this text font at 14, and that fits perfectly. And you might not be able to see it on here, so I'll just zoom in a bit more. But that's what it looks like. Obviously it's a bit blurry because it's quite zoomed in quite a lot by about 200%. But that usually works for me. And just call that a template background. If you're worried about why it's got the spaces in between the text, that's just natural on the text. If you don't like that, there's always alternatives you can use, but I'd recommend using something not too different to it. This is usually the sort of text I use for it anyway, so that's the sort of one I go with. So I'm just going to leave that there. So it looks pretty similar to this one. If I can just scroll down and stick that on. Looks pretty similar. Near enough. I'm just going to copy that over and drag it over to the other side. So there you've got sort of a basic one there. Now the one thing you have to do is you have to get rid of that before you save it. Just remember that, get rid of that, otherwise you won't be able to do much about it. You'd have to go back and save your file or do it all over again. I think that's really about it, to be fair. If I just save this, hopefully this goes alright. If it doesn't, it's not too much of a deal. Tester, just save that as that. Sign back into my Twitter. Settings. Obviously, if you're going to do this, make sure you get it right first time. If not, you can just change it and keep changing it. That's a good thing about it. I believe I made the childhood error of not removing that. There we are. I told you, it's easy to do. You'd be surprised. That's really embarrassing. But oh well. It only took me about a second to correct it. So it wasn't too much of a deal. Okay. So find what you saved the file as. I've got quite a lot of stuff on here, so and then you won't be able to preview it, unfortunately, on Twitter, which sucks. It's just like that. And once it's loaded, it does take quite a while to load. Just hoping this goes a little bit faster. It gives me nothing to talk about, really. Here we go. And there you are. You see the text fits perfectly. Obviously, there's a lot of blank space and it's not particularly good. And maybe the U and the X were a little bit big. But nevertheless, there is a lot of space you can put here. You might see on like other people's backgrounds, they put the boxes with the links in and stuff, and visit my website and whatnot. And it's quite easy to do, actually. Yeah, so that's really about it for my first ever tutorial. I don't tutorial much, but if you want me to do more tutorials, I'm more than happy to do it. It's quite fun to do. Lots of things to talk about. I think my next one might be on a overlay, perhaps, or maybe like a header or something like that. If you've got any ideas for it, just just leave it in the description. Not description, rather the comments. Like this, because the likes really do help. Thank you for 35 subscribers. We only had our YouTube up for a little bit while, and it's been really nice to get some support back. So yeah, so if you've liked this, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it, and tell me why you disliked it, because that would be good to know why you disliked it. That's really about it for my first ever tutorial. Thank you guys for watching.